Have you ever heard about a car with a toilet inside? Or one that could supposedly drive for 10,000 miles on a single tank of nuclear fuel? Yeah, car companies have dreamed up some wild stuff over the years, from dashboard microwaves to disappearing doors. Some ideas were genius, others were straight up ridiculous. But every single one of them helped shape the cars we drive today. So buckle up, because we're diving into 15 car inventions that failed miserably, but changed the future forever. The record player car, Chrysler's Highway Hi-Fi, 1955. Picture this. It's the 1950s, rock and roll is brand new, and Chrysler says, why not bring a vinyl record player into the car? In 1955, they introduced the Highway Hi-Fi, the world's first in-car record player. You could spin custom 7-inch vinyls right through your car's speakers. Sounds incredible, right? Well, not quite. Even the smallest bump in the road made the needle jump like a kangaroo on caffeine. Plus, you could only play CBS's special records, so your music library was tiny. It was expensive, unreliable, and by 1961, Chrysler quietly buried the project. But it did plant a seed, paving the way for cassette decks, CDs, and eventually streaming audio. The dream of personal music on the go never died. It just needed better tech. Ford's nuclear-powered car, the Nucleon, 1957. This one sounds like a science fiction movie. In 1957, Ford unveiled a concept called the Nucleon, a car powered by a mini nuclear reactor. The idea? You could drive 10,000 miles before needing to refuel. Just pull up to a reactor swap station, pop out your old uranium core, and go on your way. But there was one small problem: radiation. Keeping passengers safe inside a nuclear-powered sedan turned out to be, well, impossible. Add the massive cost, the lack of infrastructure, and the issue of nuclear waste, and the dream melted down faster than you can say Chernobyl. Still, it represented the wild optimism of the atomic age, and it inspired future innovations in long-range, alternative power like electric and hydrogen cars. The disappearing door, Jatech's vanishing design, 1990s. Forget gullwing doors or suicide doors, Jatech went for disappearing doors. Their 1990s prototype let car doors slide down into the body, completely vanishing when open. It looked futuristic, clean, and perfect for tight parking spaces. But there was a catch, or several. The system was heavy, complicated, and weakened the car's crash protection. Plus, all that moving machinery? A nightmare when exposed to dirt, water, or road salt. After a few flashy demos, the idea faded away. Still, it inspired today's sleek door innovations, like Tesla's flush handles and BMW's smart sensors. The fifth wheel for parking, Brooks Walker's genius idea, 1930s parallel parking. A pain in the neck since cars were invented. In the 1930s, an inventor named Brooks Walker thought he'd solved it with a fifth wheel. A retractable will pop down from the back, lifted the car slightly, and rotated it sideways into tight spots. It actually worked. Demonstrations wowed crowds. But it was expensive, complicated, and ate up trunk space. No automaker wanted the hassle. Still, Walker's dream lived on in modern self-parking systems that use sensors and software instead of hardware. He was just 80 years too early. Automatic seatbelts, the moving monsters, 1980s, 1990s. If you ever sat in an 80s or early 90s car, you might remember these, the automatic seatbelts that slid across your chest when you shut the door. They were meant to make driving safer and boost seatbelt use. Instead, they startled everyone. Passengers hated being hugged by a motorized belt. And worse, most didn't even include a lap belt, making crashes more dangerous. Once airbags became standard, the auto belts quickly vanished. A reminder that even the best intentions can go terribly wrong when the user experience is ignored. Pop-up headlights, the coolest design that died, 1960s, 2000s. Few car features were cooler than pop-up headlights. From Lamborghinis to Mazda Miatas, they gave cars a sleek, secret agent look. But under the surface, they were a nightmare. Motors jammed, headlights winked, and safety regulations eventually killed them, because those sharp edges were deadly in pedestrian impacts. By 2004, the last pop-up headlights disappeared from production. A stylish icon gone, but never forgotten by car enthusiasts. Cadillac's cylinder deactivation, the 6-8-6-4, 1981, Cadillac once thought, why not let the engine think for itself? Their 1981 6-8-6-4 system allowed the engine to shut off cylinders when power wasn't needed, saving fuel. Brilliant on paper, but the tech wasn't ready. The computer brain was too slow, causing jerky acceleration and poor performance. Drivers hated it. Most mechanics just disabled the feature entirely. Ironically, decades later, modern cars use the same concept successfully, thanks to advanced electronics. Cadillac was simply ahead of its time. GM's diesel disaster, late 1970s, 1980s. Diesel in a luxury Cadillac? What could go wrong? Well, everything. GM rushed diesel engines into production by modifying gasoline blocks. The result? Cracked heads, blown gaskets, and engine failures galore. Dealers didn't know how to repair them, and customers lost trust fast. It was such a disaster that diesel cars in America never fully recovered, at least not until cleaner diesel tech came decades later. It's a lesson automakers never forgot. Shortcuts kill reputations. Mercedes biodegradable wiring, 1990s. In the 90s, Mercedes tried to go green using biodegradable wire insulation to reduce plastic waste. Eco-friendly? Sure. Practical? Not even close. The insulation broke down inside the engine bay, under heat and stress. Wires shorted, sensors failed, and owners faced nightmare repairs. Mercedes quietly returned to traditional materials, realizing that sustainability must also mean durability. The dashboard microwave, 1980s. You think cup holders are cool? How about reheating your lunch while driving? In the 1980s, some concept cars came with built-in microwaves in the dashboard. The pitch, perfect for traveling salesmen and long-haul drivers. But it was a recipe for disaster, literally. Power draw was huge, food spilled, and hot coffee plus bumpy roads equals third-degree burns. Eventually, the idea evolved into small plug-in food warmers, safer, simpler, and actually useful. The dog sack, 1930s. This one is hard to believe. In the 1930s, a company marketed a product called the dog sack, a canvas pouch that let you strap your dog to the outside of your car. Yes, outside. They claimed it would keep your car clean and your pet cool. In reality, dogs were exposed to fumes, wind, and flying debris. It was quickly condemned and vanished, thankfully. But it did spark the creation of safe pet carriers and seat restraints that we use today. The Cadillac with a toilet, 1952. Meet Louis Matter, the man who turned his Cadillac into a rolling apartment. He installed a stove, a refrigerator, and yes, a working toilet under the back seat. He used it for long-distance road trips without stopping. Ingenious? Maybe. Gross? Definitely. Plumbing, odor, and hygiene issues made it impractical. But the spirit of mobile comfort lives on in RVs and camper vans. Matter was basically the OG #vanlife guy, decades before Instagram. The steering wheel desk, modern accessory. Fast forward to today, the steering wheel desk is still being sold online. You clip it onto your steering wheel and use it as a desk or dining tray. Sounds handy, until you realize it's a deadly projectile if you forget to remove it before driving. It's a popular tool for delivery drivers and RV owners when parked, but as a driving accessory. Nope. Some ideas just don't belong behind the wheel. The vent window, a classic Gone with the Wind, 1930s, 1980s. Before air conditioning became standard, cars had small triangular vent windows you could crack open for a breeze. They were simple, useful, and oddly charming. But as aerodynamics and AC systems improved, vent windows became obsolete. They created wind noise, added drag, and complicated door design. Today, they're a nostalgic relic, a small window into a simpler time in motoring. The car phone, the ultimate status symbol, 1980s, 1990s. Finally, the factory-installed car phone, the king of 1980s luxury. If you had one, you were someone important. Built into the dashboard, it let you make calls from your car long before cell phones were common. But they were insanely expensive, heavy, and relied on weak analog networks. As mobile phones became affordable and portable, car phones disappeared. Yet they inspired the in-car connectivity revolution, from Bluetooth calls to Apple CarPlay. They walked, so your smartphone could drive. From nuclear dreams to dashboard kitchens, every one of these inventions began with a spark of imagination. Some flopped spectacularly. Others were just too early for their time. But together, they show what makes the auto industry so fascinating. Its endless drive to innovate, even when the road ahead is uncertain. Because every failure leaves a trail that leads to something better. So now it's your turn. Which of these wild inventions do you think deserved a second chance? Or maybe you've ridden in a car with one of these forgotten features. Drop your stories in the comments below. If you enjoyed this ride through history, give this video a thumbs up, share it with your favorite car nerd, and hit that subscribe button. Because we've got more stories that'll drive your curiosity forward, one failed idea at a time.